St. Pierre. Okay, well, he's there. He's been there a few years probably. I think he's going to his 8th year now. 8? Yeah, and then Cass, Nate Cass. Executive assistant, reception, everything person, administration, everything. Everything person. Okay, he's there. He's been there.
I know, well, I didn't know one of the admin, met one of the admin, but I don't know. Honestly, the person I have in mind is Carla, but she's been on for many years. So you have 5? 4?
We are live.
Was anything baked today? Did they rip the little bake oven?
No,
No. It'd be really hot in here probably.
Yeah, Cass has been there for.
we are just waiting for quorum. And while we're waiting, I just would like to acknowledge with respect that we are meeting in Robinson Huron Treaty Territory. And that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, known as Powhatan. Powhatan is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, and the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. I will be muting until we receive one more board member, at which time we can start the agenda.
Fire Cass.
It wasn't stop it.
I
No,
don't,
Okay,
I actually don't think I can mute because it's the microphone on the camera.
so good.
We do have Sylvana and David are in first aid, so they're running over as soon as they can get here.
I took the dogs for a walk just 2 days ago and the pussy willows are out.
Oh, really? Oh, right there, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it yet.
And I saw my first robin.
Yeah, that's always special. Each summer, each spring. We're getting a lot of blue jays in the backyard. There's only one day at my house, one for like 5 minutes. When probably about 70 blue jays flew into this one tree. Wow, just swarmed it and then they all left. I was like, what happened there? You never see that many. So unusual, like.
I've always been told that if you see a red cardinal,
Yeah.
it means that your mom's visiting.
Oh.
If your mom's, or something like that.
Oh, never heard of that. I don't see those very often.
Yeah, red cardinal has that symbolic. Yeah.
I don't know if it means mom or someone that means boss, that's supposed to be or something.
Anybody else coming?
David and Savannah can come, they're just trying to get out of their first aid class.
Oh, okay.
And I had received a yes reply from Joe Bumbaco. So, and Brittany was the only one that said no, because she's out of town.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I need to leave. I'm going out when I'll. Oh, March was March. April Fools was April Fools.
It's bad weather on you.
Oh, one minute.
I know. March left like a lion as it started, before midnight. it was April Fools.
Was it that other people?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I believe in that theory of, and like mine out like the land and vice versa. March is a fun month.
I didn't realize. Sorry? I didn't realize that. I knew we had a lot of snow. I know we had pretty much the most snow fastest. I didn't realize it was that unpredictable as a Sioux when I saw that article on Sioux today about that. It said if you're a news weather reporter, if you can predict the weather in the Sioux, you can do it anywhere in Canada. I'm like, okay, I feel that.
Well, we were supposed to have the egg hunt on April 1st. And so at 8:30 in the morning when I realized the weather. And without thinking, I hopped in the car and came down to start. Probably one to, yeah, but I was driving a white car in a blizzard and halfway here I thought. Am I gonna make it? But there was no other cars on the road, so,
Yeah,
but it was bad, the driving was so bad. So we had the egg hunt last week, this past Saturday.
looks like it was well attended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was about 300 people.
Some
Nice.
good pictures on,
Yeah, we had
On the
two
news.
today, came and covered it. You probably noticed when you walked up that the windows, second floor windows are gone. We did that this week too.
There was a, talking about Easter, there's a neighborhood that had their neighborhood egg hunt. And they did it on Monday, so school was still out. Yeah, and they were gonna do this all the time.
really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's a lot.
We'll make
To
the
grab a
fun
coffee.
the more family. Yeah, those lights. Exactly. Well, that soup was delicious.
Well, there's a lot.
Is this considered a biscuit or a scone?
We call it a biscuit.
Okay, is it the same type of recipe though?
I don't know.
I was going to try making them 5 weeks ago, like
Scones or biscuits?
scones.
Potato scone? I love making potato scones,
Oh,
but
really?
they're not really the typical scone.
Oh,
So I don't know what you're talking about. Or maybe I don't know what I'm talking
I
about.
know. I was having people over for tea and I was gonna make English scones, and so I quickly looked up the recipe, but then the blizzard happened. So the tea was canceled. But I think I saw a recipe with
I think-
potato as well.
Those aren't the English, British tea kind of scones,
Mm.
but they're very good.
Lemon blueberry ones. So
Good.
good.
The potato scones are more like a Scottish
Mm.
treat.
The lemon blueberry, Q Cafe.
I know, those are my favorite.
Oh, and they have a little glaze on them.
Yeah,
Mhm. Super yummy.
that's a cute little restaurant.
It's busy.
Yeah. They only open for lunch too.
And they have, I think they have a frozen
I have
takeaway.
not been.
Yeah, they have a fridge and a freezer for
It was
potatoes
open
and.
previously in some life. I've never been to. Oh, very good. Really, the noodle house is really good. Over Scotland last week. So it was excellent.
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah.
I haven't went in, but I went to my neighbor over at some highway.
Yeah, I tried them out, probably 2 days after they opened. It's
Yeah.
excellent.
Was it?
Yeah, and cross the fingers, they're really busy. I thought, okay, I hope we're still busy. 2 months later, it sounds like,
Yeah, and everybody got something different for dinner, and they said all of their dishes were delicious.
Oh, really? Did it look the same as there?
I don't know, I don't know if this stuff's ever been in there prior to being Cheeseras or Bliss, so,
I
It
didn't,
still
I was
does.
never there when it was closed.
yeah.
I
Did they change it much when it was from Cheeseras, like how it was from Cheeseras? Okay,
Mhm.
I only was there when it was that.
They said that in a year's time, we'll do renovations once they have a little bit more money.
Cool.
Yeah, they have some really good ideas. So big food couple.
It's exciting to have. a restaurant.
Mhm.
I was excited.
Mhm. So I wonder if this means that we're gonna jump right into summer and skip spring.
That's exactly what it means.
Yeah, hold on to you. Next month, if it's cold, we're here.
But I did
We'll have
talk
a little chit chat.
No, and Saturday, Sunday.
I like it to just like transition slowly to be really, really, really hot. So in the summer, it's just a little too hot, a little too humid. And it's dry and it's rain.
To me, it's two weather points, snow, no snow. Good. When I don't remember last year, it was so wet, I'm like, don't remember, but there's snow, no, okay, that's all I was concerned about. And I love snow, and I like winter activities, but it. Just jump right into it. Well, I feel better,
Yeah,
when it's stuff like today's like, or days like today.
yeah. It was nice walking in from the Discovery Center to the summer kitchen. It's just a nice little walk.
Yeah, yeah.
So Kathy, the oven, is there a vent as well, or is it just the warmth of rocks that creates the temperature? in the
Once
oven?
you build a little fire in there,
Where is
and-
under below? Okay.
oh, under below, it's just when the two fires are going,
Uh-huh.
that warming area underneath just gets warm because of the stones get hot enough. So
Okay.
it's good for rising bread,
Oh, okay.
or keeping something warm.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little shed down below with no vent from the up above.
And then you were saying the above oven, you actually build a little fire?
Yeah, we built a little fire in the little hole there,
Mhm.
and you have to get it going for several hours.
Okay,
So the stones are really hot,
yeah,
and then we shovel out the fire. And if it's like a cookie sheet, I usually put a bread pan upside down,
uh-huh,
so I don't burn the bottom.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, be quick then, I mean, to hold the heat in there.
Yeah, if it's been going for a long time, most of the day, then it holds the heat a long time to
Okay,
bake. Like if we're gonna do bread in there,
yeah,
we have to pretty well have it going all day.
okay.
Yeah.
And so
But
temperature gets
for biscuits,
350?
cook, yeah, if you can hold your hand in
Yeah.
the opening and count to 10, it's 350. If your hand comes out, before that, it's a hotter oven.
Okay.
If you can hold your hand in longer than the count of 10, it's not 350 yet.
That is cool.
The science.
Yeah.
See, so if you say, if you went back in time, if you had to go back in time, 200 years ago, you
I
could
could do
survive,
it,
you could,
I could do it.
yeah, you would, you would survive, you just jump in and go, okay.
But you'd have to, like, you'd have to know that you have, I could do it if I had a Dutch oven and, you know, the tools.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you had a time machine, such a thing, would you want to go back for a week?
They do that, they have, weekends where you can play the part back in time. Fully immerse it in,
Yeah,
it's, I think it's a little
We-
more more enjoyable for the men though.
we've been talking about it.
Wearing happy dresses and, yeah.
We've talked about that, with having people come for a weekend and stay and work.
Yeah.
Because people want to do it.
They do,
Yeah.
I met that couple at the Fergus Highland game, And he was in a full like Viking outfit, his wife was too, and they said they travel around Canada and the States for these weekends.
Yeah,
And they're fully immersed in it
yeah.
for 2 or 3 days.
That's
Wow,
like,
That
Well,
would be
during the bicentennial, that's what we all did. We all went to each other's communities and we slept in the historic tent and we got up and washed in the lake and started your fire to make your coffee and, yeah, and then we were fully immersed for it was usually almost every weekend for those 3 years of the bicentennial.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the same as camping. I was in trailer.
And heavy clothes.
Everyone's like Viking armor,
It is, you're just packing different gear.
yeah.
There's no Coleman stoves or,
Down in Michigan and Wisconsin, they have the lighthouse keeper program.
Yeah,
And you take, it's super neat, and so you take a course online, you have to be the tour guide. And you actually live in the lighthouse and you have to, open up the door at 9, tourists come in. And you have to be so educated to be able to answer their questions. And you, with your family or just yourself, whatever, you actually live and stay in the lighthouse for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was looking at that about a month ago and it has a lot of days that are booked.
oh, which
Yeah.
one were you looking at?
It's Athlon or something, isn't it?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, it's somewhere out that way. On
Yeah.
their website, it shows what's available and not.
yeah.
It's
so-
actually quite popular.
Yeah,
oh, is that Betty's place?
I don't know.
She's the lighthouse, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
the
Bruce,
one,
Bruce
said
said,
it.
everything cottage, that's how the housekeeping lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yes. But you just stay in it as a housekeeping
yeah,
building, but
Okay.
you can go up to the widow's walk though,
Okay.
because I have been up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's what's 2-story and then there's a third, I think it's a door.
It's really pretty though.
Yeah, and you can walk around the top of it. Yeah, it's really nice. I've stayed there.
Everyone we ran into each other, the lamb farm.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Like we're not gonna know anybody, we'll just go for
Yeah.
a drive.
That was really fun. My kid enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to book.
Okay, our 2 first daters are on their way.
Oh, great.
So it'll be, they're just at the senior center, so they'll
Okay.
just come along Bay Street. They'll be here any minute.
Yeah, we booked ours last night. I think it was like the day before, like
And
the
I
time
didn't know
slot.
that. So I
We,
told
we didn't know either until Pat said.
so how long are they good for?
They worked with the previous.
The first aid or
person.
they-
It's probably
Yeah.
an hour, so, yeah, we'll get through the agenda.
Yeah.
It's just really,
I know.
if everyone's done their homework,
Then it's bang, bang, okay.
it's pretty fast. But Sunday, go back to work.
Here.
Hey.
Oh, really? Didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, no, just you went out to the section where there was the field. I didn't realize how big your field was.
It's pretty cool though that they came from Southern Ontario.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll move.
Did you get my email this morning that
Oh, yeah.
I will have to step out early?
I came over here, probably not, because I came.
Okay,
over
it's gonna
here
be
to
around
set-
8:39.
Oh,
Yeah, and early this morning.
I'm just moving things so they can come and sit down right here, because they're on their way and they'll have quorum.
Well, we have one if I leave, I can grab one.
Yeah, well,
I have to leave for a
one,
meeting.
so we have, as I said, if everyone's done their homework, it'll be a fast meeting.
In other words,
I'm just gonna.
we're still being
Yes,
recorded, so.
you have to,
Yes,
once we start the agenda, and if everyone's done and read their package, we can go through agenda fast.
okay. Wear that suit. Then I'll roll out of here and I don't want that. See that bowl you have? My mom, we always have one as a kid in our house.
The big white bowl,
Yes,
I
I
know,
love
it's-
them. So my mom
it's
has
my
one.
favorite.
So
Bring for Fred.
been kind of a contentious issue in the house, who's gonna get it? So I've been searching for them, so I found 2 of them. And I have 2 of them.
You have to sneak in put a piece of tape on the bottom and put your name on it.
Well, I have two now, my own, so. Right, love.
Not this one, I mean, your mother's.
I can't. Good idea. I don't like it, make pictures too.
When you're doing the dishes, like, okay.
It's mine, Charlotte.
Yeah. And then it'll be the teapot.
Yeah. Identify. I am liking that long, cash
It has
there,
a-
over there.
Vista flush.
Okay.
Big Elmo was one or two.
Yeah, the bathroom's nice now that it's extended out a bit. Hey,
For-
Matthew,
Has the foyer and then,
Yes.
and then a separate room, yeah.
way better,
So the separate room at the back used to be my office.
right?
And
the bathroom
this
used to be
little
right there in that corner.
foyer with a closet and change room that we would all take turns with. And then out front here was sort of an open office for everybody else. Then there, you can see where the walls were here.
Huh.
So the summer kitchen was only to that spot on the ceiling. It was a lot smaller, and with the building of the Heritage Discovery Center, they took everything out. You know, just like on HGTV. Take down the walls.
Yeah. Move fast.
Something took longer than an hour.
Yeah. Were you on the board then,
I was.
when that,
Back then,
we
yeah.
decided to do all that?
You want
So-
anything?
You use horsehair for insulation?
We did not. I don't even know if this has much. House has it between the stones. Where's your line, sand and water?
So when they fish a wall, do they use horsehair again and walk like the exact same
We haven't
ingredient?
had that,
Not how wood.
I know. We haven't
That
had
is going
to
to
do
the same
major.
thing. Isn't it incredible, right?
It's, we do little bits of mortar. And they try and mix the mortar the same, but, the mortar is. Has some lime and sand and. But then it's, they try and tint it the same.
Right.
We haven't had to do a full.
Wow. Don't say anything. Right. So then they're getting their exercise, they're probably like,
We're probably running up the pathway. We just said it. We just said they're gonna be out of breath running up the boardwalk. The stars.
You rang?
do we sit anywhere? or-
Yeah, just have a seat right here. These
Over here.
pictures.
The soup is excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Okay.
Have some soup.
Sit first.
Well, grab a soup and we'll start.
Okay, is this my package?
There's one right here. The whole-
Well, they've done everything.
Oh, good. I printed one out, but it's all black.
Yep, you're good then.
I think that's fine. Okay.
Everything was
Yeah.
kind of jiffy.
Oh, gosh.
Just lift it over to some back corner of the table and away you go. Yeah. So as dedicated volunteers, you're upgrading your first aid for us today.
But we've got to go back.
Yes, well, everyone else does too, so. Once we start the agenda, I'm sure we'll be able to go fast.
This is a good spot, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're flying to Toronto?
No, it's 25, it's Toronto.
Oh,
I
I
thought
thought
you
you
said
said
I'm
I'm flying to Toronto.
I go to Toronto Island right now.
Okay, I guess we can call the meeting to order.
I did the acknowledgement.
You did, thank you.
Okay.
So on to item number 2, the declaration of pecuniary interest, or any, okay. Item number 3, the adoption of the minutes from the last meeting. If I have a mover and seconder for that. Okay. And Sharon. And all in favor of the agenda, thank you. And adoption of the minutes of the last meeting. If I have a mover and seconder.
So
Yeah.
bad.
And all in favor? Thank you. And item number 5, business arising. Item 4, not meeting, I'm really curious report. Guess that's it.
Yeah, I just formally put the items that came from the floor, questions at the last meeting. I had mentioned I would put them in the report and in the agenda package.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, and on item number 6, the accounts.
Oh, okay.
But before some of the, it's would like.
What do you want mine? Because I have so much candy at home. Yeah,
Just say the opposite. I got that.
Oh, you-
Yeah.
Remember that's- it's about to be in South Park.
Ben will take some.
No, just,
It's my favorite.
just one batch.
I just, yeah, for the accounts, just for your information again. Because we're getting closer to audit on your end, but that just, it's just, to give you the actual year to date. From 2022, I included that. And you can see, where we were. And then according there, they've already put in the column for budget 2023 to compare. And that was just really it. So the only one you have to look at is we do have financials from February. Oh, yeah, so that's the one I was looking at, but the column for 2023 budget.
Okay. Any questions on the accounts? And mover and seconder to approve them? You?
Sandra and Charlotte.
And all in favor of the accounts? Perfect, thank you. And on to the curator's report.
So as was requested, I did put in the agenda package. A listing that is still not 100% complete because we just got another. Listing of cruise ships that are being parked on the US side. So. These are, but it gives you an idea anyways. So the only one that's missing will be, oh no, it's sort of listed here. OEX is Ocean Explorer, and that one's parking on the Michigan side for a lot. And we will get them bussed over. And with tour guides from Lakeshore Excursions. So this is going up. Probably, by a few more bus cruise ships. The other thing was just on it, you'll see. There are road scholars on the cruises. So not only will we get. Them hopping on and hopping off, but we'll get another little group. That will have a specific tour guide from us and a specific program. Because road scholars are looking for educational knowledge-based tour. And one whole ship is chartered by road scholars. So. Wow. So that starts in a month. May 25th is the first one coming in. And we go to just after Thanksgiving. So that was sort of to provide that information as requested at the last meeting. The other one was bricks, and our brick sales is a small fundraiser for the site and the historic site board. And we are putting an installation in another week or so. And our new company is Eternal Monuments, and he's been excellent to work with, so, yeah.
Sorry, can you say how many, I should know the answer, how many bricks are you installing, did you say?
Usually an estimation per year, because we only do it once a year.
Yeah.
Is around 20-25.
Okay,
It just really depends on the year. We do have a couple groups. That they come and they'll order for everyone, they're like an employee group of a business, and they will do it for an employee. If they lost a family member or whatever, they will come and purchase, so just that group buys a lot, and so. And then it just depends, some people are now realizing it's even a good wedding gift. So we have them for all occasions. 100th birthday we did recently, so, but the estimated installation is about 25 a year. And because of that, we only do it once, so we're only paying for the labor and installation once. And when I work with the new company, he's told me that maybe for fall installation or next year, he'll let me know what the price is gonna be, but to get us up to par, he's not charging us this round, so.
and so, and how much, so if it's about 20-25 bricks, how much do we walk away with in donations? How much is a brick?
A brick is $60.
Okay.
And they get a tax receipt from the municipality at the end of the year.
Okay, for the whole $60 or partial, because they're getting something for it.
I'm not even sure. I will make a note and get back to you.
Thank you.
Just May is museum month, and May 1st, we are doing a proclamation at council. And so drafted it based on what Ontario Museum Association gave me as wording, and put our local flavor on it. So the next item under curator's report is the digital strategy. We have hired our consultant, and the first meeting is happening Monday morning over Zoom. But they will be coming in person, and so at some point we will have to schedule. They might want to talk to a few of you, said, just to do some question and answer if you've been here and know anything about the site. And that they want to even they said they'll ask me for the list of who should be asked, whether you want to participate, it's up to you. It's the digital strategy, I said to them, has 3 goals. One is our collection is not digitized, so the artifacts are not digitized and not accessible that way. The second one I said would be, anything to do with marketing. So we don't have a lot of virtual information. We have programming on virtual, since we had to pivot so fast and do our school tours and we recorded Fall Rendezvous, and so we do have some YouTube videos, but just anything for assisting us in promotion and marketing. Then I asked them to look at website and everything to do with anything digital and electronic. And I forget what the third goal was. I'll remember and let you know. There was 3 top priorities, so, yeah. So we'll have by the end of speaking with stakeholders, partners, board members, staff, and looking what every, others are doing in the museum world and tourism and wherever. We'll have our strategy complete in the fall. So that'll help us move forward.
Question.
Yes.
So full of questions. So educate me for digital strategy, when you talk about marketing promotion, are you diving into the idea if someone goes on to, I don't know, Smithsonian website or reading a newspaper and then we pop up, how they have that algorithm?
Could be.
Oh, that's.
I did tell them,
Okay.
I don't know what I don't know.
Okay.
And that's why they're hired.
I like your opener on that one.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah, it could be, like, when they start to look at, the whole World Wide Web, our website, all of that. They'll put in recommendations in the strategy. So I thought of the third one, it was augmenting our exhibit digitally. So whether it's on site with some sort of, electronic devices or different projections or whatever. I told them about Mr. Clerk, he's no longer augmented with a projector. Different things like that. So they're gonna come do a whole tour and look at what's available out there for long-term strategy. Any other questions on digital strategy?
Looking at the social media too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I sort of said that when they asked if we had Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok.
I said, no TikTok. LinkedIn, and the website. Yeah, so they'll look at all that.
I have a question. I was gonna save it for the policy that you have later in our meeting. But I was wondering, since for digital strategy on accessibility, different ways to digitalize. And so that other people with accessibility can reach out to some of these documents. So one of them was with the policies, if you have it on your website, a QR code, so that people can scan, or if you have material here, that people can scan that
Yeah,
QR code to get documents, and then that way we're truly transparent.
yeah,
In one way, maybe somebody with other accessibility issues can access that QR code. So something to think about. I don't know the solution, but the consultant should.
yeah.
So that was
Those
their
are-
saving for policy, but
Yeah, because they're not, right now. Nothing's available on the website, so, yeah,
these documents like policies on the accessibility,
Yeah.
if you had a QR code, which I'm just learning, because I'm feeling like I'm on the older side too on this, but it's easy to generate a code,
Mhm.
and then it's available to anybody.
Yeah.
In a moment's notice, and they can read it in the car or whatever else, and then they know what tools are available for them while they're here on the site.
we are starting to use them more and more, and they asked if we had them even on exhibits for more information, and I said, no, not yet. We have it for women, we can hold it up to our little chart of women to get your safety data sheet and tell it what that product is, if it's hazardous, we're using it there, we're using it to link people on social media, the QR codes for giving them a direct
Thanks.
to our registration system.
Yeah, such
So,
an easy,
yeah.
yeah, I like that.
but that's a good idea. I wrote it down for documentation and policy. Thanks. They keep going.
Oh, yeah.
As your chair.
Might as well.
Okay.
Got 3 more items.
Collections management, just, we have received the funding approval. So we are going to, start to look at the storage in the attic, for the artifact. And, we have also rehired for 1 year, or look, we've done interviews and are hiring. For a 1 year term, the museum assistant, so that we can have the extra hands to work on that project. So those of you that didn't run up the boardwalk. You didn't notice, the windows are gone. From the second floor of the old stone house. They're the restaurant. Yeah, that's why I said that. So restoration is, the windows have been taken out, they are gone for restoration, and they will be put back in June.
Okay.
So, ready for the summer. Yeah,
Are they boarded up somewhere? That's a stupid question.
well, the windows on the second floor have plywood and the shutters are closed.
Okay.
Yeah, we have lamps everywhere. People can see.
Too dark, yeah.
Yeah. Same process we did on the main floor, yeah. Same company, so,
Good.
yeah. So just, and we've had a couple events during that window. Taking the windows out, we had the egg hunt sort of in the dark of it. But the kids still found the eggs and the egg scavenger. We had a good turnout with March break and now the egg hunt and next are our Fridays by the Fire are finished right now. So we're working on some of our special event teas. And doing that for the bigger events this summer. Poutine.
That's July 1st, right?
And-
The festival.
Yeah, it's that weekend. 4 days. And as you saw, cruise ships, bus tours. And the end of school tours, we're getting those phone calls now too. Field trip.
Well, it seems like just yesterday when the buses were here for kids.
I know.
Fall rendezvous. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It
Yeah.
just seemed like yesterday.
We're planning fall rendezvous again too. We have to get a hold of schools and everything before they leave for the summer,
Right.
so, yeah. It'll work. So that's my update for you.
I guess on to our 7.1 policies and CMO.
So, we meet the standards, which there are 10 of, for a community museum. And this year, we know that they sent out a notification. Because the accessibility plan is something everyone has to, we have to meet the Accessibility Act requirements. So they're asking all museums to have a plan, as part of the museum standards now. So I worked with the accessibility director, and because they obviously have done it for the corporation. So we're gonna follow the policy of the accessibility policy for the city of Sault Ste. Marie, but there is a separate plan and she's reviewed it and said the draft looked good in their eyes for that committee. So what you've received from me was that draft. And if there was any questions on that, yes.
I just want to make a comment, kind of building on, was it Heather was mentioning, or Charlotte, the accessibility. Diane's amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, the whole committee is outstanding, so I just want to say I'm glad that you worked with her.
Yeah, yeah,
And, you know, when you do more of the digital, I'm sure you'll work with them too, to look at that.
yes, no. And
That's
there's a
great.
whole bunch of even things that, it's all linked also to, you'll see, physical plant policy and community policy. Both, that's why they're also on here, which we sort of knew a year ago. We had David review physical plants, and Jamie, who was on the board last year, reviewed community. So, and of course, everything has to, the accessibility committee, and Diane did say she'll look at those policies, you know, another time, but as long as they sort of mesh with each other, which we tried to do, to ensure that we're looking at all those things. Awesome. And it's addressed in the policies, then we can move forward with actual procedures and, you know, way to handle those things and the way to ensure that we're doing it and checklists and so, you know, physical plant by per se might be that we have to look at this, this and this that weren't on our original checklist when we're walking around the site. So, like she reminded me, we have a fully accessible change table in our Heritage Discovery Center, accessible washroom, which will take even adults that are being accompanied by a caregiver. So she said, do you think maybe we should set up a system where we check on that every year? Oh, yeah. I wasn't even thinking, you know, so it's really nice having her on board and working with us now. We have a plan, a drafted plan for your approval, and it's linked into the other two policies. And under community is a lot of communication. So was there, it was a lot of reading, I know that this package was the largest we've ever had. 50 pages of policies. But if there was any questions on any of them before we get to annual report. Nothing outstanding and nothing.
Want to sign any of those copies?
Yes, these are here for final signature before you leave today. After we talk about annual report and then we do the resolution. So I would like to also go on May 1st. When we do the proclamation for May's Museum, it's a really good time to submit the annual report, which you have the draft of. And in this, I did a lot of comparisons to other previous years, so we can kind of see pre-pandemic, you know, what we're striving to reach again. In our stats and visitations and then this also is something that goes in our application to the Community Museum operating grant and this along with the standards and policies. So it's one of those things that gets called upon because we aren't really fully, we're audited within the city of Sault Ste. Marie's financial, but this is part of your bylaws to council as well, to report annually about things that happen in the statistics and the visitation. So, there was nothing glaring because we're still coming out of the pandemic. You know, like the little pie graph for visitation under the key performance indicators shows you the visitation in comparison to 2019. We are climbing back up. And out of that, it's still a big percentage from our events. So tourism last year, when you go to this nice little chart, this chart gives you the actual numbers and you can see general site visitors, the green line near the top. Those are the walk-ins. Not scheduled in on group tours, not, they're like you're just a couple, a person, a family. And we're still not at the numbers we were pre-pandemic, so. But that'll come, I think. We hope. We have great tourism partners that market Northern Ontario. Right, Heather? And I know that, they are predicting it's going to take till about 2024, 25 to get back to the full. Yes, pre-pandemic, so.
2024 was actually a year earlier, I think, than they expected. They
Yeah.
said 2025, 26, so 2024, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it has pushed, I've heard of different conflicting answers, but between the year 2024 and 2026, we might be back to pre-pandemic.
It depends on the sector too.
Yeah. And where, I mean, with the amount of bus tours and cruise ships coming in, you hear about Ontario Parks and Camp Keats, the campground. They're even reducing the number of days you can book your campground, your campsite, because the amount of people that want to travel and do that. So, yeah. So if there was, this covers everything that we do, including like education, our gift shop, our staffing and volunteers, and collections and restoration and maintenance. And social media. Is there any questions?
Kathy, you may have mentioned this earlier, the ships and all of the events, did you have the dates for them? Are they in here? Like,
They were
of
on
this year?
Yeah, they're not listed totally by date on this little sheet
is
in
that-
the agenda package.
I'm just wondering if I have that.
But I do actually have the exact date listing in
Okay.
in our
Not
calendars.
this, not this,
No, next, it might be right after that.
Just loose, I think.
on the other side, this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll just basically is an overview for you, but I do have the exact listing of dates. When they're coming.
Yeah, just for later, that would be interesting.
Yeah, and now I'm pulling that total listing together because we do have Road Scholar bus tours that get dinner theater, and we are contracting Joe Surratt and Peter White again for that connection, because they're going over to Shinwalk the next day, so that program worked well last year. So there's those kinds of additions to the booking, and then we have actually Great Canadian Bus Tours have also booked the same. And then some of the other dates that we have, cruise ships and bus tours, and the weather will be looking, I'm trying to make the list so we can bring in some reenactors.
Okay, Just what-
volunteers.
one other question, the Great Canadian set of bus tours,
Yes,
so that's when in August? Or,
I know the dates, they're
okay, but
they're on my calendar in the office.
so they come here for suppers
Yeah.
in the theater?
So that program is a 4-hour program where they arrive. And while they're having, we do an overview of the site and we do a land acknowledgement, talk about all of that, who settled here first, the whitefish and the rapid exhibit. And then they go in and have whitefish as part of the appetizers, and we do a talk in the theater. Then we introduce Joel Surratt and Peter White. And Peter White's our constant. Joel is not always available. But when he is, he does a great talk about being a descendant of Shinwalk, and Shinwalk and Irvington are good friends, and we go right through all that, and then they go on a tour. And then they come back for a voyageur dinner.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and then we do a whole fur trade talk and everything while they're having the voyageur dinner. And yeah, it's a good 4 hours, but it's a wonderful program. So, yeah,
I also have a question. Are we going to talk about the proposed meeting date before we
Yes.
vote? Just
Yeah.
quickly, and just want to insert that whatever speaker you had for the lantern luncheon, He was incredible.
Bruce, yeah.
I really enjoyed that. We did one of the Friday fight the
Okay.
fire, and it was all on lanterns. And it was actually, he was really good.
He's the clock doctor too.
Okay, yes, you mentioned that, yes.
So if there's no more questions on annual report and policies, I'll leave it back to you, Mr. Chair, to
Okay, I guess just need a mover and second or to approve the I guess just the one will be good.
all
Yeah,
written
just
out.
make sure it's all the one. So
One motion
for all.
for it all.
And then mover and second for the. Thank you. And second, sure, thank you. And all in favor? Awesome, thank you. Okay, on item number. Oh, municipal heritage committee. Item number 8, yes. So, the municipal heritage committee, there was one thing that we did, we went ahead with the designation of 54 Summit. We didn't designate yet, just going towards to get the report done. And the other one we did, we granted $3,000 to the Bucket House for him to replace the lower logs of the Bucket House. It was like $12,000 or something, we gave $3,000 for that. And he is going ahead to move the Bucket House closer to Landslide Road, and he's going to put an addition on the Bucket House for his own personal house.
What's the bucket house again?
Oh, it's a little log cabin on the Conservation
Oh,
Authority.
yeah, oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
down in Carton Beach somewhere way back in the day, and it was moved up there about 30, 40 years ago.
okay.
Built by Farmer Bob.
Yeah, Mockingbird Farm. That's it for that one. And then our next meeting, we can talk about the list of meeting dates that we have in the package.
So. I went through what we're responsible for as a board, what we have to, our financials are never fully ready, so I thought maybe we could look at them quarterly. Also, when things are sort of due and what we have to review, so I thought, going to, 7 or 8 meetings versus 12, it might mean your agenda packages might look like this every time, 50 pages, but but it might just give us, and it's totally up to you, if you want to go to less meetings. We always take August off, just because everyone's busy in the summer. And so this is a proposed, if I want you to see how much work we still have to accomplish quarterly, and when things are due for us to submit to the city for council review. We work on budget well ahead, and our user fees and all those are usually June meeting. We review because we do a walkabout and see what else is not really on the asset management list, or what all of a sudden has become a priority on the restoration list. Those are all due in June. And then, so these are just proposed, and it's totally up to you if you want to continue to meet monthly other than August, we can. I'm open to any suggestions, or I just will bring it to you.
Comments, suggestions, or questions?
I definitely can't attend in June, I'm going on vacation.
Me
And
too.
I'm out of the country, and I can't even zoom in there.
I wanted to say that too. I know I won't be there. I'm in June 14th.
Yeah,
We can then, if you would like, we can move all of that to July's meeting. Or even start to look at it in May and cancel June.
I'm away, but unless you have quorum without me, it doesn't matter.
So. We can take some of this and move it and have a meeting in May if you wanted. And then skip June,
May or July is good with me.
okay?
Yeah. it's good.
Let's do that.
No
We'll
life May and no life in July.
We'll do
June,
May
July.
and July and not June. And we'll move things accordingly to when they have to be prepared. This, I'm pretty sure it's the beginning of the fall that budget has to be in, so.
Yeah.
But July still gives us time.
Do you mind sending the revised copy to us so we can put into our calendar?
Yes, I will. This will be in the minutes, the revised.
Okay,
Yeah,
Thank you, Martha. Thank you.
so no June.
no June
And Kathy, I'll send you an email.
and no August.
I'll let you know, Kathy, by email when I'm not available. In case there's a date you can do either before or after
Yeah.
I come back, so.
Thank you.
So we have a mover and seconder for that amended list of meetings.
I'll move it.
Okay, thank you. Seconder, Charlotte. And all in favor? So our next meeting will be May 10th. Right?
Second Wednesday of May, yes.
Okay, and then a mover and seconder for adjournment.
Heather,
I will be here on the tenth. If we're having basement, I will still be here.
okay,
Yep, I'm good on the tenth, yeah.
May
The 11th, I'm leaving.
thank you, everyone. I
Thank
hope
you.
you were able to eat before you rush back to.
So much. We'll see everybody in May then.
Yes.
Have a good afternoon.
Physical part starts now.
Oh. Did you have enough nutrition? Okay, signing off on YouTube.